Tell me if this sounds familiar. There's this moment. Maybe it's small, maybe it's fleeting, maybe it's the first moment you've felt in a long time where something inside you shifts. You don't talk about it, you don't announce it, you barely even acknowledge it to yourself, but you feel it. It's a spark, a whisper, a quiet knowing that says, this could be my year. And for one sacred, fragile second, you believe it. You believe that maybe, just maybe, you're stepping into a new season. And then comparison walks in, not loudly, not dramatically, just enough to tighten your chest and make your breath catch. You see one woman online doing something you dream about doing. You see someone ahead, someone polished, someone powerful. And then instantly, comparison grabs you by the throat. She's doing it better. I'm behind. Why can't I figure it out? Who am I to even try? And in an instant, your day one becomes another one day. But here's the part no one ever says to women. Comparison hits hardest right before you rise. Imposter syndrome shows up when you're closest to becoming her. And resistance intensifies when you are standing inside the doorway of your next identity. It's not because you're unqualified, it's not because you're behind, and it's definitely not because you're not ready. It's because your nervous system hasn't met the version of you who's rising. And as we move into 2026, a year that is not about resolutions, but about revelation, I want to walk you through a deeper conversation. A conversation about identity, about comparison, about imposter syndrome, and about the woman you are becoming. But before we go there, I want to share something real, something no one sees on social media or assumes when they see the brand, the movement, the retreats, the podcast, but what actually supports me while I rise. I reach for Pioneer Pam, a Minnesota mother-daughter RN duo who walked away from Western medicine and followed a calling into holistic healing. Their mullein tincture has supported my breaths during high-stress seasons. Their elderberry is a must in my home with my boys. And their phytotoxic anti-aging lime, my skin literally drinks it. And every morning before I step into the CEO, the creative, the mama, the movement maker that I am becoming, I support my body with Make Wellness bioactive precision peptides. From fit, lean, hydrated to calm, restored, energized, and focused, these blends have helped regulate my nervous system, stabilize my energy, help me sleep better, and support the version of me that leads this community. And these aren't ads, guys. They're just the rituals behind my rising. And now let's talk about yours. Because comparison is not your downfall, it's your doorway. And 2026 is the year you finally walk through it. Welcome to She Rises Through It, a space for honest becoming, slow growth, and the unfiltered middle of motherhood, healing, business, and building a life that actually feels good. I'm Sydney, and this podcast is where I reclaim my voice in real time. It's not about doing more, it's about doing it differently. If you're craving real conversations, soulful pauses, and a reminder that you're not alone in the messy becoming, you're in the right place. And just a reminder before we begin, I'm not a medical or mental health professional. Everything shared here is based on my lived experience. Please seek qualified care if you're needing support. You deserve it. You're not behind, you're becoming. Welcome back, loves. Let's start with something most women don't realize. Comparison is not about jealousy, and it's not about identity. Let's think about that for a second. You don't compare yourself to women living a life you don't even want. You compare yourself to a woman living a life your soul recognizes. You compare to the woman who reflects something inside you, something that's rising, something expanding, something that's waking up. In comparison, it's not a flaw, it's a signal. It shows up most in women ages 28 to 48 because this is the identity decade, the decade where everything shifts. We question our purpose, we shift roles, we redefine success, where we start becoming mothers, or we redefine ourselves outside of motherhood. Our bodies start to change, our energy changes, our boundaries change, and our tolerance for anything out of alignment completely changes. This is the decade where you start to see your life clearly: what you love, what you don't, what fits, and what certainly does not. So when you see another woman standing confidently in her purpose, or speaking boldly in her truth, or building something meaningful, comparison doesn't show up because you're behind. Comparison shows up because your soul whispers, "This is who you are becoming." Comparison reveals the gap between who you are today and who you are meant to be next. It's not an attack, it is an invitation. And why does imposter syndrome show up? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about imposter syndrome, the quiet monster in the corners of every woman's mind. We treat imposter syndrome like a flaw, like a sign that we're unqualified or unworthy. But that's truly not what's happening. Imposter syndrome is a nervous system response. It's our body's way of saying, this is new, this is unfamiliar, this is bigger than what we've done before. And our nervous system is meant to protect us when really we're supposed to be taking the risks. Our nervous system truly has been taught that we can't do anything outside of anything that we've already known. So that new, unfamiliar, bigger than what you've done before, that's your nervous system recognizing the old, wanting to keep you there. The you who has stayed small, the you who over accommodated, the you who needed permission, the you who dimmed her voice to make others comfortable. But the woman you're becoming, your nervous system hasn't met her yet, and your nervous system is scared because the new you, she's bigger, she's louder, she is more certain, she's more aligned. She is you, but expanded. So, of course, we feel like imposter syndrome inside a life that we don't recognize, that we weren't built for it, and that our old identity wasn't built for it. And imposter syndrome doesn't mean you're not ready. It means you're stepping into a chapter your old self could never have carried. Imposter syndrome, when we look at it, it equals identity expansion. And if you feel it right now, good, because I've been feeling it. And here's what I know. It means we are growing, and it means you are growing. You know, there's also this part of my story, my messy middle, that I've shared, but there are portions that I haven't shared. And maybe that's because it's messy. Maybe that's because I was ashamed, it was uncomfortable. It was the season where I didn't even recognize myself. There was a time, obviously not long ago, where I felt so painfully behind and I didn't know how to move forward. In the last 3 years, I have gotten married. I have had 2 kids under the age of 3, all while slowly giving myself to everybody and losing who I was. And it was uncomfortable. It was the season where I didn't even recognize myself. I had gone through so many things with my medically complex children, to riding in an ambulance, not knowing if my child was going to live, to being at the hospital multiple times, overnight stays, long extended stays, and advocating for things I was still learning. And there'd be the moments, like everybody else, I would scroll through social media late at night while my boys were asleep, and I would see women creating, building, launching, traveling, becoming. And instead of feeling inspired, I felt the ache in my chest. I felt it in my chest because there was this heaviness of, why can't I move like that? Why is her clarity so sharp when mine feels foggy? Why does her timeline look straight while mine keeps twisting and breaking open? How come when I come home from work, I don't want to be talked to? I want to be left alone. And I was slowly losing myself. And here's the part I never admitted back then. I wasn't jealous of her. I was grieving myself, grieving the version of me I knew I was meant to be, but hadn't stepped into yet. And it was the space, the in between, that's where comparison got really loud and gets the loudest, right? And it's not because you're failing, but because you're changing and evolving. And I didn't know it then, but I was in my molting season, the season of shedding, the season of unraveling, the season where nothing makes sense because everything was trying to shift. I was unbecoming, the version of myself who needed permission, the version who stayed quiet to stay liked, the version who made herself small so others felt comfortable, and the version who doubted every intuitive pull. And it wasn't that I was behind, it was that I was breaking open. And here's the truth I want you to hear. Comparison doesn't show you what you lack. It shows you what you are waking up to. It shows you the direction your identity is trying to walk. And if something in your chest just tightened, if your breath just caught, if your eyes are burning just a little, it's because you know this season. You're living in this season. You're standing right in the doorway of your own becoming. But before we go any deeper, I want to bring you back into your body because it's hard to hear truth when your nervous system gets into defense mode. I know that far too well. So, wherever you are, unless you are driving, if you are driving, please leave this portion for later. But I want you to gently close your eyes. Lower your shoulders, unclench your jaw, relax the space between your eyebrows. Now take a slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment and exhale softly through your mouth. Again, breathe in. Let your belly rise. Let your chest expand. And exhale, releasing the tension you didn't even realize you were holding. One more time. Now, place your hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feel your breath move your body. Feel the heartbeat beneath your palm. Feel yourself soften. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing. You are becoming. Say it quietly, even if it's just in your mind. I am becoming. I am becoming. I am becoming. Now, when you're ready, open your eyes. Because your body is grounded, your breath is steady. Now we can go deeper and do the work. So I want to take you into this grounded version of you, this centered, softened version and help her see herself clearly. Because comparison clouds our clarity. However, there are ways we can restore it, and journaling is one of them. And if you're not a journaler, grab your notes app on your phone. But if you are, grab your journal. I don't want you to rush these. If you don't have time right now, come back to them later. And pause if you need to. If you need to pause the episode to actually really answer these, do it. This moment is for you. Question 1. Who do I compare myself to the most? And what does she reveal about what I desire? Remember, comparison doesn't point to envy, it points to longing. Question 2. What version of myself am I outgrowing? Whether it be the habits, the roles, the beliefs, the expectations. Question 3. What identity is trying to emerge in me right now? I want you to get honest. I want you to go deep. I want you to feel and get real. What identity is trying to emerge in me right now? Question 4. What belief do I need to release to step into her? I want you to say it, I want you to name it, and I want you to write it down. These beliefs that we need to release, they no longer serve us anymore, and they are holding us back from our becoming. So what beliefs do you need to release to step into her? Question 5. If I stopped waiting to feel ready, what would change in my life today? I want these answers to soften you. I want them to stretch you, and I want them to reveal you. So let them. Let these answers soften you. Let them stretch you. Let them reveal you. Because comparison cannot survive clarity, and imposter syndrome cannot survive truth. All right. Now that you've met yourself most honestly, wow, I cannot speak today. Let's talk about rising. And I want to teach you something most people don't talk about. You don't fix comparison. You decode it. You don't avoid imposter syndrome. You understand it. And here is how you begin rising above comparison in a real embodied way. So, we're going to first reframe comparison as evidence of calling. Comparison isn't saying she's ahead of you. Comparison is saying your soul is waking up. Comparison points to alignment, it points to desire, it points to direction. And if she triggers you, she's showing you the version of yourself you're walking towards. Second, we're going to name the identity we're stepping into. Identity doesn't shift through thinking. Identity shifts through declaration. So I want you to say it loud and I want you to fill it in. I am becoming the woman who, and fill it in. Your nervous system needs to hear those words. I am becoming the woman who. What? Fill it in. I am becoming the woman who's rising into her journey, who is embracing the impact she is wanting to make. And that may be behind others, but is learning from those so she can rise. 3, I want you to support your body as you rise. Identity work is also our nervous system working. So when you expand your identity but neglect your body, you create this inner resistance, and that resistance becomes comparison, burnout, or self-doubt. And it's going to sneak up on you, and that's why this rituals matter. For me, let's look at Pioneer Pam, supporting my breath and immunity. It supports my body not getting sick so I can be a mama rising into her journey, being present with my children, not being down for the count. In addition, my skin is glowing. It is feeling amazing. And I'm feeding my body with things it's meant for and make wellness peptides. It's helping support my energy, my nervous system, making sure I'm getting the quality sleep that I am needing. Because without those babies, I am not sleeping well. And my brain goes a million miles a minute, and I'm thinking so much. I have so many ideas, and my imposter syndrome pops up. So, it isn't about the products. It's about understanding that your becoming requires support, and your body must feel safe to hold your expansion. 4, honor your season instead of judging your timeline. Your season is sacred. Stop treating it like a punishment. For the longest time, probably from like August to November, actually now, August to December, I was treating my season like, why am I not at the next step? Why am I not ahead? And I was treating it like punishment. However, it is so sacred to me because I am getting this time to align, to really step into my becoming. And my journey, it's a messy middle. I am doing it in real time with you. And if I can do it, you can do it. And seasons, there are seasons for teachers, not measuring sticks, right? And your timeline, it's not late, it's layered. 5, I want you to give yourself permission to be in your messy middle. Becoming is not linear. And if I am one to speak it, it has not been linear for me. And I have thought one thing and then all of a sudden been somewhere else, but I'm still in that messy middle. And it's not polished. It's not pretty, but it is holy. And it's the bridge between your past and your future. And I don't want you to despise the season that's shaping you. Embrace it, feel it, align, nourish your body. And 6, I want you to surround yourself with women who normalize evolution. Comparison thrives in isolation. Identity thrives in community. This is why you're here, why this podcast matters, why the Costa Rica retreat exists, because you are not meant to rise alone. Now, let me take you into the heart of this episode. 2025 was the year of unraveling, especially for me. It was the year of questions, the year of shedding, the year of confronting pieces of yourself you had outgrown. It was the year you broke the surface, the year you realized something in you needed to change. But 2026, now 2026 is the year of embodiment, the year of identity, the year of clarity, the year of truth, the year of rising. 2026 is not asking for the perfect version of you. It is asking for the honest version, the present version, the grounded version, and the woman who knows who she is, even if she is still becoming. This is the year you step into self-led clarity, unshakable identity, quiet confidence, peaceful boundaries, deep purpose. Comparison can't lead you anymore. Fear can't make your decisions. Imposter syndrome can't drown out your voice. This is your rebirth year. Wherever you are, repeat after me. Quietly in your head, whispering or super loud. I am not behind. I am not broken. I am becoming. I release comparison. I release timelines. I release the narratives that aren't mine. I choose identity. I choose alignment. I choose my becoming. This is my rising season. This is my becoming year. This is my time. Loves, if today something inside you shifted, if you felt seen, understood, grounded, awakened, then this episode did exactly what it was meant to do. This is not just a podcast. This is a becoming movement, a becoming era. And I want you in the center of it. I want you to go deeper, really deeper, into the identity work, the nervous system grounding, the purpose clarity, the behind the scenes of my own rising. So, join my email list. That is where I lead women more closely than anywhere else. And if your soul is whispering that it's time, if you're craving real transformation surrounded by women who are also becoming, the Rise and Reground Costa Rica Experience Retreat is open. Early bird ends in 5 days. December 15th, prices go up. So I don't want you to miss our early bird pricing because this is where breakthrough happens. This is where clarity lands, and this is where identity rises. And everything I mentioned today, Pioneer Pam, Make Wellness, the retreat, I'll link it all in my show notes. These tools support my becoming, and I share them because they matter. Comparison does not get to write your story in 2026. You do. And I cannot wait to watch you rise. Until next time, loves.